Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. It is Saturday, February 27th, 6:25 p.m. here in the Arizona desert. Sorry, it's been a while. I've just been busy. Could not get the daily views kicked out, but I think I'm back at it now. So, BitcoinDailyView.com got more for you there. Do scroll down and check out Daylight Robbery, an amazing book basically of the history of Western civilization from a perspective of tax. It is amazing how taxes either help or destroy a society, and how in general they're not exactly all that cool no matter what, and some amazing twists on history where you might think it's about one thing but it actually was about taxes. Check it out, Bitcoin Truth Seekers. It's an audible version. It is really, really riveting. It sounds boring, I know, but it's absolutely alive. Major Dubai crypto fund to sell 750 million worth of Bitcoin to buy Cardano and Polkadot. Well, this is a place called FD7 Ventures. Never heard of them before, but they are Dubai based. And they do mention here ADA DOT and Ethereum. So I'm not sure if they're buying Ethereum too. It didn't exactly mention it here, but it does appear they are definitely, of course, buying Cardano and Polkadot. So interesting stuff. They're selling some Bitcoin. They're buying some DOT. They're buying some ADA. Well, look at those charts. You may have noticed ADA is really pumping recently, and so is DOT. So Bitcoin kind of sideways rolling into this weekend, a little dumpy, but seems to be holding strong. A mix of green and red in the market. A lot of things have been clicking back and forth, green and red. A lot of sideways, and of course some upwards mobility, definitely against USDT for many, many alts. XRP hanging in there. ADA red right now. DOT still in the green. Ethereum 1460. Ethereum, get off your ass. You were so cool just a matter of days ago, and now Ethereum's kind of a has-been. People have forgotten it already. Now it's about ADA and DOT. Ethereum, I'm praying for you. I'm praying for my bag too of Ethereum that I have. Anyway, the crypto market against BTC. Of course, here it is against USD or USDT, doing pretty well. Of course, today market against BTC, a mix of green and red. Not much to really report there. But let's look at the volume of Bitcoin trading last 24 hours. 5.6 billion, not bad at all. A lot of that, a huge majority on Binance. 3.2 billion on Binance. That's a lot. Nobody else showed up for work. No one else is over a billion. So Binance definitely where the volume is. So let's look at Blockchain Whispers and see what the sentiment is. Refresh this because it does change quite a lot. The sentiment longs versus short on Binance, since that is where the volume is. 45% longs, 53% shorts. Well, the sentiment where the volume is short. Well, let's look at this. Bitcoin versus USDT on Binance 4-hour chart. All right. Now, I find it interesting. Okay, so I'm going to go back here to where we had a nice positive when did this uptrend start? All right. Okay, quite a while ago. Let's see, of course. Let's try some fib action here. I'd like to, where could I grab a fib? Actually, right here. Here's a good spot. So, we're looking at 4-hour chart for Bitcoin. I'm going to do a Fibonacci sequence right here. All right, fib retracement right here. Let's give that a shot, and let's check it out. Okay, so if we look at this on a 4-hour chart, and let's just look at the where this uptrend started back here. We'll put this in the visible range because this is over here on the right and right side of the screen. That is the VPVR. Just in trading view, just for indicators, just search for a VPVR. It's still there. It shows you basically the volume by sell volume in the visible range, what you see here on the screen. It's pretty damn cool. So, it's after 5. It's kind of like wine time here in the U.S. So check this out. We're looking at, let me actually get rid of this one indicator. You can see where it's at. It's right there around the 382. Let me just get rid of that. I hate that. There we go. Boom. Okay. So if we look here, the .382 fib line right around 47,200 to 47,400, right in that range. You can see definitely we have previous support and resistance in the chart, and we have a lot of buy-sell volume there. In fact, if I do this Fibonacci retracement, basically right where we went to a from a downtrend to an uptrend of note. I'm using the 200 moving average as a reference for that here on the 4-hour chart, and also the Madrid ribbons on the basically Madrid indicator, which is a bunch of EMAs. You can find it over on Bitcoin Daily View. Just search for Madrid on the main page there, or scroll down a little ways under indicators, and it's there. It's on TradingView. It's free, of course. So this, I think, is a very powerful snapshot against USDT. So right where we're at, previous buy-sell resistance, buy-sell support and resistance, Fibonacci line 382, buy-sell volume is real spike there. But right now, if we look at Bitcoin, directional index is crap. ADX is high, but the problem is it's dumping, so it doesn't make quite so much difference. KRI is in the red. Stochastic RSI is in the buy zone, trending up. I mean, it is definitely in a good spot for further upwards mobility. But here's the deal: we might have buy-sell volume, here. But here's an issue that I'm seeing. Actually, do another box here, okay? Also, here's the .5 fib line, and you can see that there definitely has been, some candles and some wicks down to the .5. So it looks like we might find ourselves ranging between these two fib levels. So you've got your .382 and you've got your .5. Both very valid, good places to bounce. One thing about the .5 down here that you're seeing is that here's a 200 moving average. So the .5 Fibonacci retrace level, 50% retrace basically, and 200 moving average right about the same spot, and we have had definitely some wicks almost all the way down to it. So it seems like right now, overall, if we look at this, don't mean to belabor the point, but I just want to show there's kind of a case, even though we've been above it a good ways, there's a lot of ranging right in this zone, okay? And so I think that's where we're hanging out right now. If I was to change this color a little bit to something more like fun, come on now, there we go, boom, easier to see maybe. Here we are. So on the 4-hour chart, we have we're good to go. We have a lot of reason to think that we're going to continue this sideways. What I'm watching for, as far as a bad sign, would be getting below the 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart. Then I'm going to say, that's also the .5 fib level, not so good. So not sure what to tell you. I mean, if we start seeing over here, like if I was to make the VPVR a little bit more granular, let's go to 1024, a lot more granularity. Okay, if I was to do that, so you can see really we have a lot of buy-sell volume right where we're at. Previous support resistance in the chart, good fib level, good to go. You go one down, the .5, that's the 200 moving average. I mean, really, until I start seeing, it looks like we're going to get below this .5 fib level and below the 200 moving average. Then I'm good. I think we're good. We're sideways, fine. Definitely the Madrid ribbons have flipped red. That's not so great. But also note down here the .618 fib level, which is definitely a place you could bounce. That's around 40,000. That's also the 314 moving average. So we have a lot of possible support levels where we could bounce. I will say, if we start to blow the 200 moving average and the .5 fib level, it looks like we're going to start trending below that. That's when you might see me maybe hedge out a little bit, because this chart, it's weekend, it's sideways. Wish I could say something more glorious about it, but it's just sideways. It's just a tragic chart. Looking at the daily, let me actually fire up this. Sorry, I can't analyze it. I can't give you like an O-face analysis of it, but Bitcoin's just friggin' sideways, man. It's but it's not that horrible. So let's look at the weekly, not weekly. Let's look at the 3-day. Okay, the 3-day is really important, and I want to note that I'm playing with my cat down here. So she must be part of the presentation tonight. She's determined. So if we look here in the 3-day chart, let me get rid of this fib sequence. We just started a new 3-day candle today, which is very, very good. I'm glad to see that. But the last previous 3-day candles, the last two, they were red and they were pretty dismal. But this one so far, indecisive doji, wicks either way, but we'll see if this one stays green. Whenever I see three-day candles in a row in one direction with a strong trend, that's definitely a reversal or a continuation if they're still going the same direction they have been. We're still well above the 21 EMA. That's a good thing, but look at this. 3-day MACD looking like it may cross negative. MACD signal blue. I'm sorry, MACD is blue, signal is red. If we get a cross there, which looks like we might, watch out, especially if we get on the 3-day below the 21 EMA. We almost have in the past, but we've been staying above it. So in general, we're just sideways. Here we go. Daily chart. Here I don't like it. We've gotten below the 21 EMA, and the MACD is negative and widening. It's just dumping. So really, yeah, you look at this daily MACD being negative. The 3-day looking like it wants to turn negative. And then, of course, if we go here to a 45-minute chart, you can see we are just well below that 10-minute moving average. We're just dumping. Indicators are, nothing too, beautiful to look at, really. If I zoom out to a 4-hour chart to get a little bit more perspective, cat's helping. What was that? Somehow I ended up on gold. Anyway, that's the cat helping me. So a 4-hour chart to see a little bit more. We're still above the 10-minute moving average on the 4-hour chart, and we're working with some strong previous support and resistance, good fib level, etc., etc., etc. Just watch for a break below the 200 moving average, and definitely a break below the 314 moving average, and we're screwed. So if we get below like 46,200, I'm going to be a little nervous. And also if we get below the 200 moving averages right now, around 43,500, then I'm not so happy. And I probably, once we see that break, if it looked like if the indicators in general were still trending per negative, I think I'd be hopping out, especially with the daily not looking so good. Anyway, sorry, I'm searching for some kind of like something to hook on to mention, positive or negative, but this is truly, to me, when it comes to Bitcoin, a wait and see chart. Myself personally, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor or a life coach, but this is entertainment purposes only. But I think that we will, we'll build the momentum sideways here. This support and resistance that we have, and also the VPVR that we looked at earlier, and the positive fib level that we're at. And I think we're going to, at worst case, wick to, if we even do, and bounce off this moving average and start trading back up. I mean, Bitcoin is just chilling out a little bit after some mad pumping. So looking at the SPX up top here, Thursday and Friday sucked. Looking at the Russell 2000, Thursday and Friday kind of sucked. But here's an issue, and it kind of explains, if I was to go here to the daily chart once again, noting that previous support and resistance there in the chart that we're at. Actually, this is kind of an interesting level that we're at, huh? It's a place we've hung out before. Anyway, we are below the, of course, 21 EMA on the daily, as we know. MACD is negative on the daily. That sucks. 200 moving average, we're way above it. That is a good thing. And at least this MACD is still above the mid-range, as I call it, so that is a positive thing. It isn't so bad when it crosses negative there, but one of the reasons we might be seeing Bitcoin taking this dump, in part, is what we're seeing here with the dollar strength index, DXY. It's now above the 21 EMA on the daily, and it looks like it's making a good, powerful move. So if it continues, if the DXY through this weekend, well, really, we're going to find through the coming week, if it continues to move up, and Bitcoin has this negative MACD on the daily, and we look at the shorter time frames, we may definitely see a break at this 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart. We're already below the 2-hour chart. Let's actually check out the MACD here on the 4-hour chart. It's positive, but just barely. That's a good sign. That short time frame. Also, let's look at a 2-hour chart. it was positive. It's just now indecisive. Might break negative again. The 4-hour and the 2-hour MACD, especially the 2-hour for immediate price action, is really a powerful indicator of which direction Bitcoin is going. So as you can see, it's below. I call it the mid range. There might be a better word for this. You can let me know if there is. But here in the MACD, I call this the mid range. If you're above it, good. If you're below it, not so good. So we're cross negative and we're below it on the 2-hour and also on the 4-hour. So really, everything sucks. Anyway, sorry. Bitcoin is just sideways. It's going to do what it's going to do. It's going to make a decision. It's going to break below. It's going to be like, I give up. That, or it's going to just friggin', just do a friggin' hardcore bam, bounce off that 200 and just, rocket ship to Pluto. I personally, like I said, not financial advice, and purposes only, but that's truly what I most likely see happening. All right, Ethereum. I was joking around earlier, putting some green candles on there as an example of what I think it very well might do. So here's Ethereum versus USDT up top. On the 4-hour chart, as you can see, it broke below the 200 moving average, but it's finding support in that 314 moving average, which if you look at Bitcoin, like on the 4-hour chart here, you could see if that actually really could be the case, where you break below the 200 moving average and start riding that 314 up. So Ethereum broke below the 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart, and as we're riding on that 314, we'll see how it does. Indicators not promising. On the bottom here, Ethereum against BTC, tragic. Yeah, it's awful. So let's look at ADA a little closer. A lot of people are really into ADA and they're wondering, like, should I stay in? Should I get in? Should I, whatever? And I'm noticing here, it's a 45-minute chart, and I have a lot of time here in this 45-minute chart. I'm pretty much starting this upwards channel around January 31st is where I saw this. So isn't the most perfect, channel, I know, but in general it is grasping the direction that we're going in here. And do note that we broke above this channel, and that was, unfortunately somewhat short-lived. Here's the same chart exactly again, but with a 4-hour candle that makes it a little bit easier to see. And you can see we broke out of this channel, and now we're breaking. We broke above it, but we did not hold that. I was kind of watching on these different time frames. I was like, well, what's ADA Cardano going to do? Is it going to get above this, out of this upwards channel and keep it, or what? Here it pumped up and it came down. I thought, wow, maybe we're really getting a bounce. It's going to stay. It's going to it's going to make it. Well, no, it didn't. So anyway, on the 45-minute chart, though, do note the 200 moving average is way down here along with the 314. Indicators are now definitely going towards the negative side, although the stochastic RSI is at the bottom. It definitely shows that we are not over bought at this moment. So I would say watch, ADA Cardano this weekend for a serious move up. We have cooled off quite a lot. I'd personally wait for the squeeze indicator, which is linked to a Bitcoin Daily View. The squeeze indicator, wait for it to start firing off those white dots again, which I think are gray by default. I will show you how I like to do mine. Try to keep this moving along quickly for everybody. I know you've got things to do, but I like length, 20. And then also for the plot here, color, just do white, nice and bright, and you can see when you get your squeezes. And when that squeeze starts, boom, I'd be watching for that. The squeeze indicator might be a very, very good way to see what is up here. So, would not surprise me if we saw like a bounce, if we came down, saw a bounce off this mid-range and watch that squeeze fire off again and watch the directional index go green, the ADX get above 20, or, I think we're going to see some serious movement here. So ADX definitely has lost a lot of its upwards, ADA, Cardano, has lost a lot of its upward, velocity, but that's fine. I think it's still, if we look overall, I think worst case we're going to see is it's going to get back in this channel and probably continue upwards. Yeah, it's a good chart. Just watch out, make sure that this that we see, a confirmation here of this, bounce off this midline, or this, if all goes completely, oh shit, sorry, or if all goes completely wrong, watch for a bounce off of the bottom of this channel. Just be wary, be watchful. On the 4-hour chart, directional index is still in the green, but the 8x is way too low. KRI is in the right spot. Stochastic RSI is definitely where it could turn around. So be watchful. I think we're going to see this happen right around. Let me just clear this off. It's a little bit clearer. Boom and boom. It would not surprise me if we see bounces right around 1.2 dollars, or way down here at around like a dollar. So anyway, be watchful. We shall see what happens. All right, dot against USD up here. It's just struggling to stay above this 200 moving average. It's quite a battle. I couldn't tell you which way it's going to go yet. Against BTC, it's a little better. It's above the 200 moving average. Indicators are still showing a bit of a downtrend right now. So overall, dot, unless you're a long time hodler, it doesn't look a very strong buy to me right now. Especially if we look at dot versus USDT. It's kind of like ADA. It was cruising up, looking so powerful. It got too full of itself. It broke out of the channel here, and then it came down back into the channel, and now it got below the channel. Now it's trying to get back in the channel, and so far as you can see on this 4-hour chart, it can't quite stay in that channel. So anyway, a lot of swings here on dot, I think. Especially, but if we look, we have a positive squeeze beginning to start. I'd watch for that. The actual index is in the wrong spot. Let's look at this on a 45-minute chart for more immediate price action. Yeah, let's look at that on a 45-minute chart. 200 moving average is trending down. Even though you can see the blue diamonds, it is breaking it above. It is moving above it. Breaking above, but then just coming back down. Indicators show it's jacked. So anyway, this weekend, forget it. Just drink more or something. Bitcoin is a bet on the future of humanity. How do you put a price on that? Stacey Herbert from Kaiser Report. It's absolutely true. This is a peaceful revolution, even if it's flaccidly sideways and boring right now and hard to find good positions to get into. Still, I'm glad you're here, Bitcoin Truth Seeker. This is important. Hey, take the weekend off. Not financial advice. I'm not a life coach either, but I think it's good advice regardless. Take the weekend off. And I'll be here. I'll probably be back on Sunday, do a daily view. Let's see how things are going, and let's see how we rock into next week. I am worried about, unless you're a Bitcoin shorter, and that's fine if you are, but this direction, this dollar strength, the DXY making a move towards the upside might definitely, and of course the market dumping a bit too. In general, looking at the S&P and the Russell 2000, this just might be a. Anyway, sorry, no good news is good news, whatever. It's sideways. Go build a model tank or something. Take care, everybody. I'm glad you're here, Bitcoin Truth Seekers.